Anthony Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by light heavyweight contender Anthony Yarde. Anthony, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. We saw you up on the stage earlier. Seem to now have taken a more, I don't know what the word is, comprehensive view of your fight with Lyndon Arthur. Not quite as angry anymore. Cooler heads have prevailed. What did you see in the second time of watching the fight that maybe you missed the first time?
Again, I don't want to get any lines crossed and people start twisting my words and say that, yeah, he's admitted he lost the fight. I don't feel like I lost the fight. It was closer than I thought it was. So I can understand and I can see how it could have went either way. Boxing's a lot to do with perception. You've seen it. I saw a fight with Derek Chisora the other day. With Derek Chisora, Lyndon, what's the name? And Parker. I thought Chisora won. So did a lot of other people. But again, that sometimes it's not the judges doing a bad job. It's the angle, the perception, and the perception that I learned after the fight was I'm known as a knockout artist. So if I'm not doing something I'm usually doing, it's going to be perceived as the fighter I'm fighting is doing something to stop me from doing what I usually do. When again, that wasn't really the case. But again, boxing is about learning. I learned my lesson, and it's just getting back to that position I was in before.
When you feel you had done enough to win, though, what is the lesson you learn? Like, what do you change if you felt you put in a good performance anyway? Complete
and utter domination. Not leaving it close, basically. Not, he won this round, I won that round. Because again, I can honestly admit, during the fight, I would be like, yeah, I didn't even win that round. In the fight. But I thought I had it by a few rounds. So did one of the judges. One judge had it very wide to me. The other two judges gave it to him by 1 point. So it was one of them close decision fights, and they're the most frustrating sometimes because you're like, when I watched it back, I was like, I could have easily done this early, or I could have done this, I could have done that. That's why it's all a learning game, man.
Is it frustrating for you though, because you came off the good performance against Kovalev, it looked like you were heading straight back towards a world title shot, and now you've had to wait because of the contracted rematch another year of your career when you could have been back in world title contention potentially?
For me, absolutely not. For me, there's no rush. It's just about the journey is what matters, and people, I always say to people, pay attention to the journey because that's the longest part. That's the best bit even. The best bits only last for a moment. So the journey is what matters, man. You know, when you win a world title, that moment it counts, but it's the journey to get there, and then after that, everything else. It's about the journey for me.
Tell us about adding James Cook MBE to the camp. Who made that decision? How did it come about?
It was a team decision, really. There was a couple trainers that I came into conversation with. I won't name the names, but the reason it was James Cook is because I've known him the longest. It's always been a good energy. I've never heard him say anything bad about me or give his opinion or anything like that. But no, all jokes aside, it's who he is. I respect him a lot as well, and convenience. He's from East London. He's into a lot of the same things I'm involved in. Giving back to the kids. He's got a thing that's going on in East London where he talks to a lot of kids and all them kind of things. It matters to me. Them little things matter to me. And other trainers, they've got other obligations. So that's the reason it ended up being James Cook, and I'm very happy with the decision.
What can he add to the team that wasn't there previously? What was his added value?
I feel like he adds a lot to the team. Advice, a second eye, and sometimes, you know, if you're coming from the outside, you're going to give another perception. You're going to give that, no, you didn't even win that round, or this fight's too close, and like from early. Again, Tunde's picked up a lot as well. He's been very harsh because he wasn't as harsh as he should have been before. He said that to me, and I've seen a big change in him.
And what changes have you noticed in the gym so far with the way all of you work together?
There's been changes, there's a positive change. I won't go into specifics, but it's been a good positive change.
It must be a little strange because it's been like you, Tunde, Addy for so long. Even though you know James really well, you're not used to him being in the gym every day. How has that been so far?
But again, he hasn't been in the gym every day. He's got his own things going on as well, but it's about that the second eye. Ade's still there. Tunde's still there. We're still working. We're still trying to progress and get better, and that's all it is really.
Are there any specific things we should look out for in the ring against DOMINATION on July the 10th?
Just to actually watch the fight, tune in. Everyone knows what I'm like. Entertainment. I disappointed in the last fight in terms of entertainment. I can openly admit that. But yeah, I'm back to Beast from the East.
And then Lyndon Arthur, hopefully next after that.
Oh, exactly. There's a rematch clause, so that would be the next fight. But for me, it's focusing on one thing at a time.
Brilliant. Really appreciate your time and best of luck.